Very good morning, friends. Myself, Dr. Krishna Kumar, and today I will talk about the caste. How caste is affecting in Indian society and its impact in past, present, and as well as future. And caste is a obstacle in the social inclusion. And social inclusion was the reaction of social exclusion, because first time in Professor René Linier wrote a book, Lex Excluse, which means excluded, because he identified the marginalized groups like that poor, handicapped, elderly, drug addicted, prostitute, prisoners. Later on, Amrita Sen wrote also a book on social exclusion, concept application, and scrutiny, and he also described about the methods and components who were responsible for the exclusion and maybe will be responsible for the exclusion of human being from the mainstream. But being a student of political science, I could able to find out that the discourse of exclusion is only due to one society accept the concept of inequality, and as we go through in the philosophy of political science, other like that Plato, Aristotle, Hegel, and Hobbes, Locke, later on utilitarianism like that Bentham, J.S. Mill, later on liberals like that Nozick, Haig, later on elites, theorists like that Mosca, Michel, Plato. They all scholars accepted the concept of inequality. They believe that the all people are not equal by the born. But as Rousseau defined the nature of inequality. He stated that there are two types of inequality: natural inequality and artificial inequality. Natural equality means like that in the inequality on the basis of the structure of body, structure of the powers, structure of the uh, speaking power, mental power, all these powers. Maybe that should be accepted, but not properly accepted. Maybe uh, some layer we can accept it, that inequality which is based on the natural, but a natural inequality we should not accept it, and that is the duty of state, that it has always indulged in the activities which will be able to remove us inequalities which is created and which is totally artificial, which is the products of human being, like that inequality based on religion, inequality based on caste, inequality based on color, inequality based on um, race. These type of inequality should not be accepted, because this is not an inequality, this is not a rational method. So because Rousseau is very inspired from Immanuel Kant, and Immanuel Kant stated in his philosophy that all human beings are themselves dignified. They don't have need any particular another things. Being a human, they are totally complete. So that's why equality is the basis of all human dignity. If we want to maintain the dignity of human being, then we should work for the equality. And there are only three concepts maybe which were, which are, and which will be more important for the society, for the individual, and for the reformers, for the politicians. These are like that: liberty, equality, and fraternity, because these three concepts were responsible for the whole revolutions which were happened in the history, like that the American Revolution, French Revolution, later on Russian Revolution, Chinese Revolution, and the whole third world, like anti-colonial revolution, anti-colonial struggles. And if you go through the components which are responsible for create inequality, and the main component is that discrimination. And if you go to the like that on components which are responsible for the discrimination, so we will find that there are throughout the world 4 components. First is class, second is color, third is gender, and fourth is caste. Caste is more complicated and more rigid, because on the basis of class we can divide the whole society into categories, haves and haves not, and this group has a flexibility. If a person gets some properties, so he or she can enter in haves class. If he or she will lose his or her properties, so go to in the haves not class. So it is a flexibility. The same thing is happening in the grounds of color, because now the black beauty concept, and it is not a genuine ground for the discrimination. And it is also, if some people think that on the particular color, they think that he or she is inferior, he or she is lower, he or she is not acceptable. But if how anyway that person will be able to get any position, like that a president, like that a prime minister, like that a businessman, like that a hero, like that a cricketer, so then he or she will definitely change that group and come to the class of haves class, which is acceptable. Third is the same thing is happening on gender. Gender based discrimination is a very controversial and very paradoxical, because I am not so clear about that, whether it is a natural components for the inequality, or whether it is a unnatural component for the inequality. Because on the basis of gender, how we can imagine that person is inferior, and male, female is superior, or male is superior. And now in the society we have a number of genders: third gender, transgender, lesbians, homosexual, so maybe in future we will have a number of genders. And this type of discriminations have also flexibility, and if any gender will be able to get any position, any power, any money, so definitely he will go into the class, haves class, and which is acceptable in all societies. Because when a person enter in the class of haves, so definitely he near to power, he near to law, he near to system. And who will be near to system, so definitely he will be feel more secure, and he will be able to use that system for their interest. Now I will talk about the caste. The caste is also a very complicated matter, because firstly, Indian society is not divided in two castes. Indian society has 5,000 about castes, and every caste feel that in that inferior and superior, upper and lower, and it is a grading system, like that in the first class. If you go into classes particular, like that is the Brahman first, then Kshatriya second, the Vaishya third, and Shudra fourth, and out of Shudras and all classes, untouchables, which is a category of Dalit category, and it is not a flexibility, it is very rigid, because Dr. Ambedkar also stated in his Mukhnaya that Indian society, which is divided on the caste base, is like that a multi-story building without a stair, and the persons put in classes, and they will be not able to change their story. So that is very difficult, and these days caste is a trauma for an individual, because caste is anti-national, anti-social, anti-individual, anti-creativity, anti-liberty, anti-equality, anti-fraternity. It is like that a trauma. It is like the capital, because some people enjoy its privileges and some people suffer due to their caste identity. So caste is a very big matter, and in this video I explain that if we want to maintain, we want to inclusion of the people in mainstream, so then we should remove the casteism from Indian society. And as Dr. Ambedkar also in his book wrote very well about that, the caste is the biggest problem of Indian society, and now caste is a global problem. So I hope, friends, you would like it, and if you would like it, so please share it with your friends and comments on it. Later on I will discuss about some another dimensions, like that how caste is social. And thank you so much. Namaskar.